Welcome back to the Carolina Blue Pod Season 2. Yes, we are back. I know you thought we left, but we did not. We're going to have new segments. We are going to have new energy, and we got a new team. And we got to talk about those new guys. I'm your host, Chudy Blue. This is my co host, D Rock. What up, D Rock?
Yo, what's good? What's good, Carolina? Let's
Hey,
go. Tar Heels. It's about
and
that
we
time,
are
man. I
back,
feel it in the
man.
air.
We back like we never left.
I feel it in the air, man. Like word of Benny Siegel.
Yeah, for sure. And we got new people coming in this year, man. We got some new recruits. We got some transfer portal guys, and we lost a couple guys that were very instrumental in our success last year. So let's first talk about maybe some of our losses and how we can replace that energy. Starting with, the Swiss Army knife Harrison Ingram, who declared for the NBA and got picked up by the Spurs because they know good players when they see them, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
no vibes.
that was a very good pickup for them. He's been playing good in the summer league. What did Harrison Ingram mean to the team, and what are we gonna lose when we lose this guy this year?
Yeah, Harrison Ingram, he meant everything to us last year. As far as a team, we really didn't pick it up until, he started taking over and getting accustomed to his role. I know they had that one game. I think it was one of the early games that we lost, and a big emphasis was on rebounding. And Hubert Davis is like he got it. He got at him. He's just like, hey man, like
Yeah,
we need you to rebound. Like if you don't rebound, like we're not going to be any good, and you're not going to be as good as you can be. And then of course, ever since that game, he came out and was getting 20 rebounds in the game and just going crazy on the glass. So I definitely don't think we can get all of that back in one player. But with the committee that we have coming in this year, having more depth in the backcourt, um, and having some bigger, more physical players, on the roster overall, I think it'd definitely be done by committee.
yeah, for
Harrison
sure.
Ingram was definitely one of those Carolina players like a Theo Pinson,
Yeah,
um, you know, as well. So yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna be missing
As
a
much
lot,
as as
but
much as you lose on the court with a Harrison Ingram, I think you lose equally as much off the court. Just the the energy, the things that you can't quantify. That's not points, rebounds, because he did that for us well as well. But just the the molding of our identity, I feel like came a lot from Harrison Ingram last year. I think he was exactly the player that we needed for that team. Like he just kind of pushed us forward in ways that are unquantifiable. So that is a big loss for us for sure. I definitely believe that he did so much for us on and off the court. He just really held that team together. So yeah, that's going to be a huge loss for us. We also lost our guy Armando Baycott. I mean,
man,
and when you talk about Baycott, you talk about the double doubles, you talk about the rebounding, of course. But this year, last year, he definitely took a step up on the defensive end, protecting our rim and sliding his feet on switches. I mean, that's something, if you're not really watching the game and seeing him in the years past, that you probably wouldn't notice. But definitely, definitely lost a lot there as well. He was our rock. He took a step back on the scoring. Wasn't if you're the guy in North Carolina, especially at big, the crown is on your head. He kind of stepped aside and said, "Hey, this is RJ's team. We follow his lead. I don't have to score 20 points every night. I don't have to touch the ball every play. I'm just here to win." So that was a big step for Armando Baycott last year. We definitely losing one of the all-time greats at Carolina. And what can we do to replace that energy? If it can be replaced.
yeah, like I said, definitely gonna be hard to replace. Like you said, one of the all-time greats. in Carolina history, especially how him. He's just kind of like the last of the Mohicans. He's kind of like the old throwback to like the older post players. So now we're going to be having more skillful centers. Who are going to be rim running. More pick and pop. That can pop out and shoot the three. But we're definitely going to be missing just that overall presence and just that swag on the court, man. On and off the court. Armando, he a rock star. So, and shout out to Theo Pinson and his podcast. He said he made a lot of money at Carolina too. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So,
So it's gonna
like
be
I
some
said,
NIL money opening up around there as well.
yeah, for sure, for sure. So, like I said, we're just gonna miss just the overall swag. Like you said, just missing one of the all-time greats, which is always hard to replace those. But it's Carolina, man. Like when and the opportunity is there. It's on the
We've
players to
held
go out
on
and
to
seize
them
it.
long enough for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And like I said, the NIL money was flowing, so it worked out great for both of us, for Armando and for UNC. For the team and the fans. So yeah, definitely gonna be missed. Going to be hard to replace. But the opportunity is there for for our other post players to come in and contribute at that high level.
Yeah, absolutely. We also we almost lost Seth Trimble, and then he came back. He changed his mind, and that actually shows me that you know he didn't do what anybody else would do, which he had the right to do. I mean, he's been here for a couple of years. He wanted the opportunity to maybe start at point guard for a team. He didn't feel like he was going to be able to do that at Carolina. So he was going to go into the transfer portal. I don't know what Hubert Davis told him to turn him around, but he was very honest with him. I heard that he was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to compete for minutes. We got guys coming in. We got Ella Cadeau here, but I don't know what the but was that he told him to make him stay, but it shows me that Seth Trimble isn't running. He wants to win, and he's going to work hard. I mean, he took a leap last year. Um, anyways, he played very well for us off the bench, scoring, defense, of course, we know. Um, so let's talk about, we talked about things that were leaving. Let's talk about what we have coming in. It's going to be a different team. I feel like a more well rounded team. Since we were just talking about Baycott leaving in a giant hole that leaves in the paint, we were scrambling trying to get centers. But I feel like we got a roster fleshed out of a lot of good bigs with the guys we had left and the guys that are coming in. So let's talk a little bit about that. We have, let's say, Jalen Withers is coming back to play another year for us. Um, let's talk about what he brings to the table and what maybe he can do this year to kind of fill that hole that Baycott left.
Yeah, definitely Jalen Withers. Like I said, definitely don't want to put any, pressure on him by trying to fill Baycott shoes. But I think he can still come in and just continue to just be more aggressive. I think not only that, but him being in our system more, a whole other year, having time to learn our system, uh, you know, along with those habits that he picked up over the season last year, those good UNC habits. Definitely looking to see that, take a step up. And with him once again, face up four. He's athletic, can finish around the rim. Definitely want to see him to be able to hit that three more consistently.
Absolutely.
Would only make it better. For him as a player, and for us as a team. So, with Baycott, he was on the block a lot. With somebody like Withers, you can't have him on the block for if he gets on a mismatch with smaller defenders. But you definitely want to have him, being a pick and pop threat, cutting to the rim, type of player. So I definitely look forward to him, taking a good leap, on
Absolutely.
offense and defense this year. And yeah, man, like I said, it's year two for him. So, You know the
His
program, so let's get to it.
his biggest thing is gonna be for me is gonna be energy, which is what gave him a couple of starts last year. Just coming in, hitting the boards, offensive, defensive boards, and running the floor, trying to get some dunks. I do feel like he will hit that three better than last year. I don't think it's broke. I think he just wasn't hitting it last year. Um, he's confident in it. He will shoot it, even though we like to take maybe one of those back for sure. But he will shoot it. Um, so I think he's going to hit that a little bit more this year, and just the athleticism we got coming in this year, I think it's going to bode well to help him out. I mean, we're going to be running the floor with guys like Cadeau, running with RJ. You got guys like Ian Jackson, Drake Powell, Jalen Withers. So I think we're much more athletic this year as well, which is going to just, I think the tempo is going to be a lot faster, which is going to help him out too.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Who else? Who you want to talk about next coming in that's going to help this team?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, let's just go straight into Captain Jack, man.
Captain Jack,
Captain
Ian
Jack.
Jackson. Hey man, I mean, as much as we talked about how much we knew what Cadeau is going to be at Carolina and how much we rave about his skill set, we are always excited to get guys like this. We don't have guys like this all the time come into Carolina anymore, but Ian Jackson is one of those guys. I mean, high octane offense, score machine, athletic, and just has that that swag about him that's just gonna give confidence. I mean, everybody's seen the viral video where he's sitting there beating this guy's team and telling him why they losing. I mean, that just I think he's gonna be so much good energy for that team. And once again, it's one of those identity builders for that team. I mean, that's one of those guys you rally behind. Um, he's a bucket, man. He's a bucket.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna even if you don't like Carolina, you're gonna like watching Ian Jackson play basketball, man. He is a bucket. And
for sure.
That's all you got to say about that guy. He's a bucket. I mean, we're gonna be looking at him like we got a lot of good players on this team, so it's not gonna be like the scoring of a Joseph Forte, but it's like that though.
It's definitely gonna be like that because
it's like that.
Yeah, he can, like you said, he a bucket, man. He a bucket. Yeah. He from New York. Like you said, we had a lot of good success with New York players. RJ Davis, Cole Anthony.
And
I just wish he didn't get hurt that year when we had him. It would have been crazy. But yeah, man, like you said, coming in from the Bronx, just being able to fill it up, man. Like he gonna be in the system. We're gonna be playing fast. He gonna be getting shots. He can get out on the break. He's gonna be dunking everything.
Yeah,
it's gonna be crazy. I'm ready to see him catch a body.
Yeah,
I'm ready to catch a body. I'm ready to see the alleys. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to see like a real vintage up and down UNC team, man.
Oh man, it's gonna be reminiscent of those, those good times, the '90s and the 2005s and stuff like that. I mean, we got talent coming in. Like I said, thank Caleb Love, man, to think that type of unconscious score, man. I mean, it's gonna get crazy.
For real.
We got him. We also got Drake Powell coming in this year. I'm excited about Drake Powell just as much as Ian Jackson for our team. I mean, I think anytime we have one of those championship type teams, you got a player like Drake Powell on that team. So I'm excited about his skill set. 6'6", long 6'6", small forward, can switch defender, and can shoot. And he's not going to be doing anything crazy out there. He's not going to be off balance. He's not going to be rushed. he's a two dribble pull up guy or get to the cup guy or shooting at three. So I'm really excited about his skill set playing, especially with guys like Ian Jackson and RJ Davis and Elliot Cadeau, who can find you anywhere. So what you think about Drake Powell?
Yeah, man. I mean, Drake Powell. I mean, they have him, as a, projected as a first round pick in the draft next year. I kind of he reminds me of Harrison Ingram. He's not
Yeah,
as tall, but he does everything real well. There aren't he doesn't do one thing great, but that's what college is for. Like you go to college to learn and work on those things and become great. And the way that the league is going now, um, you're going to be seeing more guys that can do a lot of good things
that's it.
instead
Yeah,
of specialists. So I think he fits in real well with our team. To come in and you know play defense, hit open shots, like you said, the 1-2 dribble pull up. He doesn't get rushed on offense. Like I said, he's smart player as well. High IQ player,
that
can just do it all. So I'm definitely looking forward to having him out there, and
he's one of those
making some
guys
havoc out there, bro.
that you love to play with because you can drag and drop him on and put him on any team, any type of offense, and he's not going to be disruptive, and he's going to be good. He's also one of those guys. I know Northwood used him a lot at the front of a press. I mean, if UNC decides to press a little bit, it's like sometimes that they do. He's one of those long, athletic guys you put right at the front of that press um, to get deflections and cause chaos. So I'm really excited about him. He's definitely, if he can last more than 1 year here with us, is one of those glue guys that you need for a championship for sure. So I'm definitely glad we got Drake Powell as well. Got to see him in person. I like his game. So there's another good one. We got to talk about the transfers. We got to talk about Cade Tyson, which was probably that was the first transfer we got out the portal, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's there to play like a small forward, maybe a small power forward for us. If they start Ian Jackson with Cadeau and RJ, which is likely to happen. So right in that spot where we talked about Harrison Ingram at, he's not the same player as Harrison Ingram, of course. Um, but what he brings to the table for us is going to be shooting, which is much needed now that we're losing, Cormac and Harrison shot it well for us. I think even a better shooter than both of those guys transferring over from Belmont. So, what do you think about him?
Yeah, first, yeah, K Tyson. I mean, he got the ratchet, man. Like this dude, he almost shot 50% from three last year. You know what I'm saying? So like with RJ Davis, with Elliot Cadeau being a pass first point guard,
Yeah,
with all these scores that we have on the court and those sets that we run,
yeah,
like he's gonna be letting it fly,
he's gonna be butt
and
naked out
and
there.
and he's gonna be hitting them at a high clip. You know what I'm saying? And then I like his competitive spirit too. You know, he's gonna come in. He's gonna be able to compete. Like you mentioned, you know, kind of taking over that Cormac Ryan role.
Yeah, bigger
By
Cormac
bringing that
Ryan.
energy and that shooting. And then, like you said, that competitive nature too, man. So I'm looking forward to having him come in, knock down some threes. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing him hit, those games where he hit 4 or 5 threes,
Yeah,
Dean Dome going crazy. We going crazy in the living room watching the game. So, like,
he's
yeah,
definitely
we
gonna
just
be
got
that
another
guy. He's
shooter
gonna hit
coming
some
in,
threes.
man. Can never have too many of those, especially, like I said, with HD, with him running those sets, those pro style sets. And then we got a lot of open shots last year. So he's gonna be hitting
Yeah,
those same shots. Definitely gonna be getting those same shots and hitting them at a high clip.
yeah. So if he gets hot, I mean, think Brady Manick, think a big Cormac Ryan.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
and he will put the ball on the floor for a couple of dribbles too. I mean,
yeah, for
think
sure.
like I feel like if he puts the ball on the floor, he's he's kind of bigger, so he likes to like do the little fader on people after a couple of
Mm-hmm.
dribbles, like a Klay Thompson would do, or
Mm-hmm.
like a Dirk type two dribble fading away from the player type game. So if you give him the rim, he's not fast, but if he gets his shoulders in front of you, he'll go to the rim as well. So yeah, I mean, it's not that he won't put the ball on the floor, but he can shoot the ball, and we need shooting on this team for sure. Um, I think our rotation this year is probably better than it's been in a while. Actually, we've got a lot more guards than we've had in previous years. When you're talking about, we still got Seth Trimble with RJ and Cadeau, and then you got Ian Jackson. Then you can play Drake Powell. You know what I'm saying? So we got a good rotation of guards and wings that we haven't had in a while. Um, then we got a good rotation of bigs. So I think maybe let's get to that because a lot was being said trying to get in the transfer portal. We still actually looking at somebody for center. But what do you think about Jalen Washington possibly taking over the center spot, starting at center this year for UNC?
Yeah, man. Listen, I love Jalen Washington as a player. Obviously this isn't Roy Williams UNC, where I know last year a lot of the fans wanted to see more Jalen Washington and Baycott in the game at the same time. But since we didn't have that much depth, at the center position, it was really only them two. You know, he could only get in the game when Baycott sat down to take a rest. But at the same time, we were able to see, what he can do in those limited minutes. And so just think about that in an increased role, over the span of not only a game, but over the span of a season. I can definitely see him getting, close to double numbers.
Yeah,
One thing I definitely want to see him, he's going to have to work on foot speed,
yeah,
guarding out on the perimeter, moving his feet. Even in the limited minutes last year, I know he was in foul trouble. Some games, but like I said, I'm all in for him on the offensive end. Like
yeah,
it's like I'm all in because he can score on the block. He's super aggressive around the rim.
yeah.
He caught a couple bang outs last year where everybody just under the goal. He grabbed the rebound and he just power up.
He
It's
got he
like
got a real nice skill set, man. I mean, he's not a bruiser like Baycott was, but he steps out. He can shoot at three. He likes to fade. He likes to. He's not small though, so he can post up as well. It's just that he likes to be more finesse with his game. But definitely, the only thing that will hold him back, I would love to see him get the bulk of the minutes at the center position if he can hold down the fort down there, if he can make sure that he ups his rebounding for us, which I don't think will be a problem for him. But rebounding and protecting the rim and being able to move those feet, like I say, it can't be a defensive liability. That's a thing that's going to take minutes from him. So if he can improve on the defensive end, moving the feet and protecting the rim and getting rebounds, then I mean he'll get the bulk of the minutes, and you'll see what his game is once he gets the bulk of the minutes. I have no problems with his offenses at all. Like his offense is really good. He
yeah.
just hasn't had the opportunity that he should. He's been hurt and not been getting the minutes. So definitely there we got him. Hopefully starting at center. If we don't get anybody else, we got Van Allen Lubin. We talked about Jalen Withers and what he needs to do this year. He'll be playing minutes for sure. He'll get his chance to play a lot of minutes. Van Allen Lubin, James Brown. You still got Zayden High. Those three are going to be battling for the rest of those minutes. I feel like, um, and it's open. I mean, Zayden High just gives energy. He makes you want to play him, but uh, he has to give something else as well when he gets his minutes on the court. But he's going to get an opportunity. But more than likely, I'm thinking Van Allen Lubin, just from having more experience, will get the bulk of the third rotation minutes at our big. What do you think about that? Like between like James Brown, Zayden High, and Van Allen Lubin, who will be the better fit?
Yeah, I agree with Van Lubin coming in. Has more experience. Has had some success in the college level. And that's just the type of game we're in right now.
Yeah,
um, and then too, just him coming in. He's has a skill set, similar to Withers in the fact that he's a face-up four. Um, he's more of a playmaking finisher. He can finish real well around the rim. He operates, real good within the offense, 15 to 20 feet in. Definitely want to see him, work on his perimeter shooting. Uh, you know, you would hope, with him being on a team such as UNC's, that, everybody's in the gym, they're getting the shots up. So hopefully he's been, doing that and putting a huge emphasis on that in the off-season workout and, be able to step out and hit that mid-range more consistently and eventually, see him step out to the 3 point line. But yeah, coming
absolutely.
in, just being a physical guard, physical force. Coming in at 230 pounds. He's been in college for a few years, so he already has that body. So just coming in, making plays, playing defense, hitting the boards. That's what you do at Carolina. You want to
Yeah,
block. So,
absolutely.
just come in, um, play some great minutes and, continue to get better every game.
I think so. We talked about what our big rotation could look like. We talked about all the guys coming in. Let's talk about our returning starting guards in Elliot Cadeau and RJ Davis and what we expect of them this season. I think um, I don't think we're gonna see the 20 points a game from RJ this year. I think he does a little bit of a step back, not in his play, but just to score because we got so much more scoring help, I feel like, than we had last year. So I don't think he'll have to score that much. He'll definitely have big games like he always does, but I don't think he'll have to score that as much this year. So kind of like what uh, Baycott did last year, didn't have to score as much. I feel like we'll see RJ come down to maybe around 17 points a game, somewhere around there. Um, as well as I feel like we'll see an uptick with Cadeau this year in his scoring. I think his shot will be better this year. And I mean, I expect a leap out of Cadeau this year, more consistency with the scoring and the play this year. I think he had some trouble with the fouling last year. I think he had uh, a couple of games where the ball got a little loose with him, like a couple turnovers and stuff. But all in all, definitely a great freshman season. I just think he's going up. I mean, I think he's going up this year. What do you think about those two guys and what's going to happen with them next year, coming up this year?
Yo, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
It's gonna be crazy. Like they were already electrifying last year, in the backcourt. Once again, like you said, with Cadeau coming up, he was a reclass. So, he decided to come to college at the last minute. We could have stayed in high school. So, the fact that he was able to take on that challenge, lets you know what type of player he is, off rip. And for him to come in and have some success last year and some struggles, but we saw right through that. Like, like we knew the struggles were going to happen, and it's a reason why they happen, right? It's basketball. Like you learn from those. He's definitely one of those players that's going to learn and learn from his mistakes and work on what he needs to get better at. So he's
yeah,
been putting in a ton of jump shots per day in an off season. So yeah, you match that with RJ Davis. Those two they looking like one of the top backcourts in the country for sure.
definitely. I mean, I feel
So
like Cadeau is just one of those guys that he's one of those high IQ guys that you can't have him with a year under his belt. He learned so much last year, and he knows where he's going to get his shots now. I feel like early in the season he didn't know where to get his shots off. It's just a a different level. You just got to figure it out a little bit. I feel like mid to late last year, he started figuring out, oh, this is how I can score at the college level. And then he knows that he has to hit that three to be able to get his scoring to the point where he needs it to be. And he's been in there working on that three. I just know this. Nobody's told me. I just know that he's that type of guy. He's going to be in there working on that three because he knows he has to hit that three. And he knows if he hits that three, then nobody can stop him because he gets in the lane where he wants to. He passes great, and he can finish. So once he gets that down, and I feel like it's just going to go up and up from there, this is going to be crazy. Like you said, RJ already best shoot guard last year, possibly, along with what Cadeau's going to step up to be this year, and the teammates that he has this year. One of those type of point guards like Cadeau, it's like new toys when you get guys like this. Now, are you to mean to tell me I got RJ and Ian Jackson and I got Cade Tyson that can shoot it now, and I got Drake Powell coming up. Man, he's gonna have a field day out there. Like he's gonna have a field day. So I'm excited about that, man. Cadeau's gonna be crazy. Yeah, man. All in all, I mean, this is gonna be one of those teams, man. I mean, I feel like we got the leadership. We got RJ back. Um, the guys that are coming in, we filled out the roster pretty well. Um, and the jump that some of these guys I feel like are gonna take, it's one of those, man.
Yeah, I feel the same way, man. And I
Yeah.
mean, that's just kind of how it is. Like, like this is one of the, one of the first teams. A lot of HD players. Still have I think Jalen Washington and RJ Davis.
Yeah.
From the Roy Williams, recruiting and things of that nature. But yeah, man, we're gonna see a fast team. They're gonna play fast. They're gonna play aggressive, offense and defense. They're gonna bring a lot of energy to the Dean Dome. They're gonna bring a lot of energy out at the Maui Invitational. They're gonna bring a lot of energy at the Jump Man here in
Yeah.
Charlotte. And yeah, man,
Oh
I'm looking
yeah.
forward to a great entertaining year. A lot of dubs, a lot of success, for those players and for the program as a whole. And yeah, man, try to get this natty, man. Try to win the ACC,
Yeah.
and try to get this natty, man.
Always. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here for the shiny stuff, man. You know what we're here for. So that is the Carolina Blue Pod today, man. Getting to know those new players. I'm Chudy Blue. This is D-Rock. Subscribe. Carolina Blue Pod on all platforms. We out.
Yeah, yeah.